Hi everyone. Today we are going to explore how to monitor Spring Boot applications using OpenObserve. OpenObserve is an open source observability platform that gives you logs, metrics, traces in one place, and it's completely free to start. In this demo, I will show you how to set up, integrate a Spring Boot application using OpenObserve tool. Let me walk you through what we are monitoring. We have a distributed e-commerce platform called Amaze Store, and it consists of four microservices: order service, inventory service, payment service, and fulfillment service. And they all sending their traces and logs to OpenObserve to give us a proper end-to-end visibility into what happening across our system. And here, order service act as an API gateway. Setting up OpenObserve is really very simple. You just need a Docker Compose file with OpenObserve image. So here I have a Docker Compose YAML file. So it's have root ID password, which I already set up at port number 5080. And here I will just run the Docker Compose up command. So now it will run the Docker on starting out my OpenObserve container. So let me show you how it will look. So here you will see a OpenObserve container which is running now at port number 5080. So let me show you that also. Here you can see, if I refresh it once again, so you will able to see localhost 5080 and OpenObserve dashboard login page. So here let me click on these are same credentials which I used before. So let me log in. So now this is how a OpenObserve dashboard looks. So we have all the options: log, metrics, traces, rum, pipelines, dashboards, all the things. So I will go through each and everything later in this video. Now let me walk you through how to configure Spring Boot application to send data and logs to OpenObserve. So here we need two dependencies in our pom.xml file. So here you will see these are two dependencies we need. First is micrometer and second is OpenTelemetry. So they basically like used for distributed tracing and send same thing to OpenObserve. And apart from that, we need other few configurations. Second is like this application.yml file. Here we need to configure the endpoint, tracing endpoint. This is the endpoint, and this is I'm using the same authorization credentials. You can see here, which I use for OpenObserve. And one more thing, there is sapling probability 1, so I can able to trace every request. And then we need this for log purpose. I built this a custom log publisher to our OpenObserve. So what is basically does is it log all the things like timestamp level, log level, messages, service name, trace ID, and spam ID. It log all of these things in this log queue, and every 1 second. So this is a fixed rate, scheduled a fixed rate for 1000 millisecond, which is 1 second. So every 1 second it flush all the logs to our OpenObserve, and if this log is empty, then it return, and then it create this batch. So basically it creating this batch. Then here you will see all these parameters, and if batch is empty, then we will simply return because we don't have anything to flush. Then here we are trying to build the endpoint. This is the endpoint which we required to send data or logs to our OpenObserve. So here we are building the header and everything, and then we are calling a post a request to our this endpoint with all the data entries, endpoint and class which we required. And here if something goes wrong, then you simply just don't do anything, you just wait for the OpenObserve to initialize. And this is our a custom log publisher which sends data to our OpenObserve. Basically this is for log. So now it's time to run our application. For that particular purpose, I have built this automatic PowerShell script which manage and run all the things required. So let me run this application. So what it does basically, it's run all my services in a separate terminal, and if any already running Java in a background, and it will kill that thing and relaunch with a new. And here also it basically launch our OpenObserve Docker container for this particular script. So this is basically like we don't have to run these all commands separately. It will just run one by one. So let me show you the terminals. It take a little bit of time depending on your system. So looks like all services are running and up now. So let me show you how they will look. So here, let me refresh this at localhost 3000 and my localhost 5080 where my open source live. So this is OpenObserve, which is in Docker, and this is how it will look. So this is basically a kind of an e-commerce platform where I can search product, add to cart, and payment, all the things I can do there. So let me try to show you how it will look. So if I go to an OpenObserve, so here if I go to logs, you will see all the logs are flush here, default, choose a default and run query. So here you will see all these are running now. So these are all the latest one, and I put this like past 50 minutes, so they're showing me all the past 15 logs, and I can do the same thing with trace also. So if I go to traces, here I will see all the traces on this particular time frame, all the traces, and here if I click on run query, do the same thing. See, the latest one is coming now, 180, 12, 17. All these are logs are now flushing into OpenObserve. And same thing with the log also. If I run this query, every second it will flush all the logs here. So see, the time is also increasing. So now I will show you how this thing is happening in the background. So if I try to add some product, so here as I click on these two products and click on add to cart, and here I click on proceed to checkout. If I click on here, and it will take to me this checkout page. So what this page is have, like we have this simulator also. So it basically like we can simulate different type of failures, inventory failures, payment gateway failures, and this kind of failures to simulate the real application. But right now we are trying to do the a happy path. So no, I'm not selecting any kind of errors now. So it's like a normal flow. So now I click on the place your order. So now it will place my order. So here if you see, my order is placed, this email is sent to this email, and this is my order ID, and here you will set distribute trace ID. This is my distribute trace ID. So I will use this trace ID to trace my all the request distribute traces basically in my OpenObserve. So this is not a production app. So in production you will not see this thing, but for demo purpose I have implemented this so I can able to like track in OpenObserve. So I will go there, and in my logs or traces I can go and search. So let's try to see the traces. So in traces we have a trace ID. So here I will make it plus, so it will add here. Now I have to add trace ID here and click on run query. So here I have run my query. So here you will see all the services and different color codes: payment service, inventory service, fulfillment service, order service. Now if I click on this, so now it will show me all the distributed traces, how service is flowing in my this journey, this all this order journey. So here we have a order service which calling all service, then card service, then inventory service, then how it is in how it basically flowing. Here you will see all the spam, like how much time it took, all this right here with this chart, and you can see a grace timeline also like this, and also you can see a service map, like how services are connected to each other. So here we have order service which connecting to these three services. So this is act as a API gateway which connect to these services. So this is how it will look here. And if I want to see the traces, I can go the traces it will show here. If I go to logs, so here if I go to logs, and here I need to click on the default, and here if I go to spam ID or the trace ID, anything, I will click on the trace ID, and here I will click on paste and click on run query. So now it will give me all the logs of this particular trace ID. So you can see all the details. If you click on here, you will see all the information, like this is service name, Amaze store backend, and all the checkout order completed, etc. All the details you will see here. Fetching product details for ID this product, product ID 3 number, and all details you will see here. Some store, validation section token, and customize this. All these details you will see here, and logs. And one more thing, like if you can, like you can do from here also, if you add a trace ID, and here if you click on this, run query, and click on here, and you can here from there you can also see the logs. So if you click on here, view logs, so it directly take you to the logs part. So if you click on log, so it will take you directly, you don't have to go there and do the manual thing, you can directly jump there and it will show you all the logs of this particular trace ID. And here you will see a log level, which is warning information, and all these loggers messages, everything you will see here, which help to debug your any issue, any production issue. And this is like a happy part. I will show you that uh, negative flow. So if I come to a continue shopping, and here I will again add few products and click on this cart and proceed to checkout page. And here now I now want to demonstrate that not happy face. Okay, so here I will click on payment gateway, which is like now it will decline my card, okay, with a status code 420. Okay, now I will click on the place order. So now you will see the order processing failed, and it give me a trace ID. So I can use a trace ID to actually see like what happened behind the scene. So now I will come again to OpenObserve. Here again, I will go to traces and so trace ID, paste the same trace ID, click on run query. Now it will give me three errors. So let's see what kind of these errors. So I will click here. Now I will expand this thing. So it's showing me that payment service is giving me some kind of error. Okay, so let's click on it and see what happened. So here, if you notice, it giving me a status message which like payment gateway declined exceptional, which is card authorization declined by issuing bank with code 420. Okay, and this is an error, kind of error, and status code and status everything is here, and I can see it take this much time and everything. I can see here also the trace timeline and service map. Okay, for this time it's showing only two because it didn't go to different services also, so it just stop there, and all the things is here also, and this is how it will look. And I can say logs also do the same thing, log level, trace ID, log, and run query. What is not showing, maybe the input 50 minutes. So now it's showing me all the logs. So here you will see error from the from which service and everything it's showing here now. Log error showing everything. Let me quickly summarize why OpenObserve is a great for Spring Boot monitoring. It gives you distributed tracing, and it's every log is correlated. So like tracing and logging is with using a same trace ID. It's a very cost effective. It has open source and community, and every code is open source in their GitHub repo. Uh, it's like a simple UI, everything in one place, logs, metrics, rum, everything in one place. You don't have to switch between these things. And I think these features makes this very effective for tracing, debugging your issues in production and for your Spring Boot applications. Thanks for watching. You will find all the code in my GitHub repo, link in the description. Try it yourself and see how OpenObserve transform your observability.